Oh shit. Whoops. All right. Let me see if it's on. It should be on. Let me see if anybody moderation. Okay, I'll do that when I'm ready. Hello, everybody. Okay, I'll do that when I'm ready. Hello, everybody. But right now, my mic sounds pretty good. So that's one good thing. Let me go ahead and let me like this. Let me go ahead and share this link with a couple people because I'm starting this off without even preparing. I didn't make the pre I didn't schedule this out. So that's why like I got to send the link out to a few people. So um so just bear with me. It won't be like this the next time. It won't be like this the next time. I got two people watching. All right, hold on, y'all. I'm about to get started. Let me just send that over to everybody. All right. Hi, everybody. How you guys doing? Hold on a sec. Wait. All right. What's up, traditions? Traditions always makes it. What's up, traditions? What's up, everybody? Thank you for watching. Okay, so today, what I'm doing, this is like a launch of a Monday news channel. I'll be closing. Okay, let me know. Tell me what's up. Like how close and everything that's going on. So this is like a launch of a news channel. We're gonna just go through some headlines, like a news show. I'm going to do this every Monday. This will not be the time slot for it. Today's like the pilot episode, if you will, but this won't be the timeline. This time slot for it. I'm looking more to do it like around 9 o'clock, um, because I don't like to start so late. Secondly, because I don't know, that just feels like the right time. So I'm looking more towards 9 o'clock. Now, what will happen is, let's say I know that I have to go to work or something on a Monday or something comes up, I will pre-record it the night before and then I'll play it, as I'll play it as like a premiere at 9 o'clock on Monday. So this is going to be every Monday. This is going to be every Monday starting today. This just simply won't be the time slot. That's all. Because I want to be able to have a time on my channel where people know that they can see something from me, whether I'm live, like live studio audience type, like live, or live, like, all right, new episode, new video, not video again, new show, Monday show. So it's like talk show about headlines, like what's going on in the world, because that was the whole point. That was one of the main points of that girl Casey Media, is to talk about real news and what's going on out there, and just to keep everybody afloat. Okay. So I have a couple of headlines up and we're going to go ahead and go through them and just, talk about a few things, and keep it light. All right. So thank you to everybody who's watching. And if you could hit the like button, that really would help me. I'll probably say that over and over again because it pushes the channel. It does. It does push the channel. And really, my goal is to have 1,000 subscribers by June, because my birthday's in June. So I figure like that's a really good birthday gift to me, 1,000 subscribers. So I'm really working hard on that. Okay. So let's go ahead and get into some of the headlines. And we'll start off a little like calm with political stuff, and then we'll go into, so this is how I want to do it. We'll start off with some political stuff, and then we'll go into like world news that still affects America, of course, and then we'll end it off like entertaining, like more relaxed headlines. Okay, all right, let's go ahead and get started. But before we do, you guys, welcome to Monday Morning News again. Please hit the like button, and as some words of inspiration. It's Monday, new work week. Set some goals, conquer goals. You guys are capable of doing whatever you want. Don't let anything stop you. You guys got this. All right, let's get started. So I'm psyching myself out because I'm looking at like how many people who are watching, and it's not that many, but this is my first one, so I need to stop. And I need to be very professional and enunciate because I want to give you guys the best quality product. All right, let's get started. We're gonna go first with Twitter. I am not crazy. A little bit I am. Hold on. Okay, you coming to AC. Okay. To pick up something. What are you picking up? No, let me stop. All right. Right now I have it on Sudan, but I'll come back to that. Because I did put some bookmarks up and I wanted to start off with something funny. Yay, my best friend, she's watching. Thank you. What's up, B? All right. Let's start off with a little funny something real quick. El área socioemocional de los niños, porque esa parte está quedando bien. That's how it is when you start, working from home when it doesn't work out the way you want it to work out right now. Okay. So, all right. Anyway, so politically, I wanted to talk about how, first, I want to start off with Robert F. Kennedy Jr., who has announced his bid for the presidency. So, we're going to take a little bit of a listen to his speech,
Not hatred. What we need in the United States is not violence and lawlessness, but is love and wisdom and compassion toward one another.
Every nation has a darker side, and the easiest thing for a politician to do is to appeal to our hatred and our anger and our bigotry and greed and xenophobia and all of the alchemies of demagoguery. My father and my uncle had a vision for America, a vision of racial harmony, of prosperity for all Americans, of peace in the world, and of honest government. Their lives were tragically cut short, and America took a different path. Yet the possibility they foresaw is still alive, the America that almost was and yet may be. I've been fighting corporate corruption my entire life, but I understand that today the problem is much larger than a few crooked individuals. The problem is a system that no longer serves the people, and a people who are so divided and so fearful that they are easily ruled. It's time to unlearn the reflexes of fear and blame and find ways to unify ourselves and turn our country around. I won't pretend to you that it will be easy, but I know what it will take. My father said it: love, wisdom, and compassion toward one another. And that's where we need to start. We will scale down the war machine and bring our resources home. We will rebuild our water systems, repair our roads, modernize our railroads, and clean up our environment. We will also clean up government and earn back the people's trust. We will end the secrecy, the censorship, and the surveillance. We will again be a fearless land of liberty.
The cost of freedom is always high, but Americans have always paid it.
We will face honestly the darker parts of our history, the genocide, the racism, not to shame or blame or punish, but to repair as best we can in a spirit of compassion and kindness toward all. I'm inviting all of you to join me to create an America that we can believe in and be proud of again. I'm Robert F. Kennedy Jr., and I'm running for President of the United States.
All right. All right. So we saw that. I'm going to put myself back on just a little bit. What the heck? So we saw that. So, okay. Now, I am everybody like I'm a Republican, right? So as far as like I usually just say, oh, Democrat, I'm not even looking. But the difference with RFK Jr. is I've been following him even before COVID, and he gives me honest vibes. He definitely gives me honest vibes. A lot of people seem to think that he just started talking about the jab and when COVID happened. Like, no, this man has been talking about jabs. He had a children's health network and everything, like a publication talking about different jabs and how fast they were coming out and what they were doing to people and this, that, and the third, and keeping it real. He's like an environmental lawyer. So he found out like a lot of secrets with our agencies like the FDA and other agencies like that. And he he finds out these secrets while he was doing these lawsuits against like environmental companies and stuff, and that's what opened his eyes to a lot of what was going on. At least that's what he said in one of his interviews that I heard like a long time ago. But um so I like his whole vibe here. I do. I would like to think that, and there's a couple things that concern me with the president. A presidential candidate, I need to know your foreign policy ideas, you know. So I don't know his thoughts on Ukraine, the Ukraine war, or how he looks at, you know, just other countries, dealing with other countries and everything like that. But at the same time, um, I would like to think that he's not in a rush to get us into a new war, because he talks about descaling the military industrial complex. Yeah, we do need to descale the complex, but I definitely believe that we do need a good defense system, and we have both. Um, we have both right now, like, that are a mess. The complex itself is an absolute mess, and we're going to get into that on the channel on this episode with what's going on in Sudan. But the defense system, I seriously don't think that we have a good defense system. I seriously don't. I don't know what's going on. So we're just a mess all around. Now, when he talks about secrecy and stopping, you know, getting rid of, like, we need to pull back on all the secrecy. Yeah, he knows. He talks about it. He does talk about it. He knows. I mean, I'm sure he knows who ended his uncle and his father. As a matter of fact, the man that's in jail for ending his dad, um, is actually not the person who ended his father. And he says that's not the person who ended my dad. And when he went to a parole meeting or something, he was trying to like fight for the guy to get out, because he's like, this is a patsy. Like, y'all, this is somebody who the CIA put up. Like, this is not the guy who ended my father. And with that, and so he's up. He keeps abreast on these things. Like, he knows what's going on. You know, I mean, he knows. And like Broken Tradition says, the establishment won't let RFK become the president. He can't be controlled like the other politicians. Absolutely true. And he knows too much, and he's willing to speak on what he knows. You know, although he could have already probably started speaking already. Like, I mean, like I said, both, I mean, not even just his, you know, we always think about RFK and JFK, but what about JFK Jr.? That plane crash never sat right with me to this day. So I'm just going to leave it there, because I know JFK Jr. was supposed to run for president, and all of a sudden, you know, there was a crash. I'm just going to leave it there. But the man knows a lot. He knows so much, and he's brave to talk about what he knows. He did apologize about some comment that he made when he was talking about digital IDs and everything, and he was like, you know, we're going to be like a digital Holocaust and everything. And I was like, and then of course, Anti-Defamation League was like, oh, he's being anti-Semitic because he said we're going to do the Holocaust. He's trying to compare, and you can't compare anything to the, you know, because nothing can be compared to the Holocaust. We could compare everything else to something, but just not that. And so he apologized, and when he apologized, I was like, oh man, come on now. Now, his wife, he did say, is already dealing with cancellations because of the type of person that he is. And so I'm gonna actually take off the screen here, and I'm gonna come back to y'all. So his wife is already, she's an actress, Cheryl Hines, and so she's lost acting gigs and everything because of RFK Jr. I remember when he made that comment about digital Holocaust, and then she came back and was like, you know, my husband, I guess, like, she tweeted something like he does his own thing, but you know, I talk to him and we don't do anything that I denounce anti-Semitism. And I'm like, yo, what is she is weak, and he's trying to run for president. I don't know, like, because if you couldn't handle that simple comment, they're going to come for him. They will come for him. And right now he has a little bit of a lead in the Democratic Party, because he's a real candidate, you know. he's not in it for, like, he doesn't look like he's in it for, like, oh, just to make himself feel better. No, I think that he truly sees like this country is going down the toilet and he wants to make a change. And he's running as a Democrat, though. So it's like, it's kind of weird. Like, I don't know how the man is still a Democrat, but Kennedys are Democrats. But, the Democrat doesn't stand for that anymore. And I would like to hope that he wouldn't be all into this whole trans mutilation type stuff, because since he knows how our agencies work, yes, Cheryl Hines from Curb Your Enthusiasm, since he knows how our agencies work, I would like to think that he wouldn't be involved in promoting that kind of surgery to children and all. So I would like to think that if I was a Democrat, I would be happy about him. My only issue with him, though, was that whole climate business. He was really into climate change back in the early 2000s. I hope he realizes that that's part of the lie too with the EPA. One thing about him, I know that he wants to go in and demolish a lot of these governmental agencies, and I truly believe we should. My best friend asked a question. She asked, now would he win against Trump to be elected for? Well, he's a Democrat, so he would have to win the Democratic nomination in order to he would have to win the Democratic nomination in order to go against Trump, like in a general election, which I'm going to get to the Republican nomination stuff too. So, and then they would go head to head. That would be like a real presidential race where and like tradition says, the establishment gets in the way. That would be a real presidential race where you would feel like both people were actually fighting for America. It would be like a real, like, where I would feel comfortable a little bit, like, you know what I mean, no matter who we got. Of course I would vote for Trump, but like, because he's not he's Trump. But anyway, but I would not be mad if RFK Jr. I'll tell you this, I wouldn't have that pitting feeling in my stomach when Biden won, which we will get to today. And so he's running, and a lot of people are being very cynical, like, oh, I don't trust him, and I'm like, come on, y'all, like, we were not mad at RF. Don't do that. Like, let's just at least listen to what he has to say. Nobody was really coming at RFK Jr. all this time. I'm not going to be one of those people who's just going to try to find dirt on him just because. No, I think the man really is an upstanding guy, because he's the black sheep of his family. His sister straight denounced him, said, I don't know what's wrong with my brother, I think he's crazy. So I have no issue with him as a person. I just don't know if he's strong enough to not be pushed around, but I kind of think he is. So I don't know. So it's exciting to see. It is. I will say it's exciting to see. Let me see. I have to start showing you all comments. If RFK Jr. gets momentum, something is going to come out about him like they did with Trump. Absolutely, yeah. They will have to. That's the only way. What's up, Devil Eye Elvis? What's up? Thank you. Hope you have a fantastic week too. So absolutely, of course, there's just no way. There's no way that something's not going to come out about him, because they're still trying to push Joe Biden. Because apparently Joe Biden is supposed to announce his bid this week. And I'm just like, y'all are crazy. But one thing I'll tell you, I'm sorry, this always happens. Excuse me. I'm going to just say this, though. The establishment is pretty deep, thick, deep state. Good morning, Sarah. Good morning. And they will keep that corpse alive, to keep playing him like a puppet. I mean, they're doing it already anyway, because apparently he's supposed to announce it in like a video type style, some nonsense like that, things you never heard of. But with AI and deep state, I don't put nothing past them when it comes to the type of things that they would do. Anyone not on an anointed side, hold on a second. Yeah, anyone not on the anointed side will get the same treatment as Trump. They've learned they pay no consequences. I mean, yeah, that's true. That's true. And the establishment already started demonizing RFK Jr. Like I said, when he was talking about digital holocaust and some weekend at Bernie. when he was talking about digital holocaust and stuff. Because I went to that rally. It was the End of Mandates rally, and he was giving a great speech. Like, yo, man, we got to get on this. Like, they're trying to have us where we got to show our face just to go, get the market, to go to the grocery stores, whatever, because you got to be jabbed up and everything got to line up, and then you show your face and and your digital fingerprint. And he said, it's like it's going to be a digital holocaust. That's how they're going to have us. And then the ADL was like, oh, good, you said holocaust, so now we could just go ahead and just not pay attention to the real stuff you're talking about and just go ahead and just say, you said holocaust, and then they demonized him. And he had to fall back for a second. He did let it die down. So, it's just so, and that's what it is. They don't want anything good for us, but we the people really need to start stepping up and doing our civic duties, paying attention to what's going on around us, as far as even our council, the district councils and all of that. We really do, because these people are getting away with it, even down to the little bit around you, the local government. They're getting away with making all kinds of laws and changing things. And I know it's a lot, everybody has a lot going on, but we are living in a time where, after 2020, I just didn't know. I'm like, anything is possible. So I like to now know what's going on. What are you guys trying to put on as legislation? And I'm kind of going off on a little bit of a tangent, but the government needs more of we the people. So, and then to end off this, I'm just going to show Traditions, who totally has it right, weekend at Bernie's. Absolutely. That's what they would do with Joe Biden. They have no problem doing it. And so now let's go back to the stream. Actually, this is perfect. I'll leave myself on the corner like that. And we'll discuss DeSantis real quick, who, since we are on the political standpoint, my thing with Ron DeSantis is, if you're going to run for president, can you just tell me you're running for president? Okay. And, so Ron DeSantis visits factory in Japan that will be producing his bobblehead doll. The manufacturer called for the in-person meeting so as to get the head movement perfect. Why are you in Japan? Yeah, they're saying, it's because the company. He's doing interviews with Pierce Morgan, I feel like you're on a presidential campaign. He put out this commercial, and it looked like a campaign ad. So now, of course, they asked him about the polls, so let's just listen to his answer.
Governor, polls show you falling behind Trump. Any thoughts on that?
Guys, I'm not a candidate, so we'll see if and when that changes.
And so I guess I was like, oh, cutie bobbled his head. Woo. Let me not show my bias. I like DeSantis as a governor. I think he's a great governor. I'm not really ready for DeSantis as a president. I don't know. I need him to run so that I need him to announce his presidential bid so I can know what I'm dealing with. That foreign policy means everything to me, because, like I said, look at us today. And we're going to get into that. But it means everything to me, because we are a mess. The Biden foreign policy, I never thought about that. Even when they said he was going to be president, and I was like, or maybe he, I was like, our gas prices are going to increase and everything else. I never thought about how bad our foreign policy would get, how bad we would look in the world. I was trying to find his campaign ad, but it's not here. So I'll just keep it moving. I saw it on Fox. I couldn't believe it when I saw it. I said, that's a campaign ad. Why don't he just say he's running? But he still hasn't said he's running. All right, so moving right along. Why is the DNC trending? Let's just see real quick. Well, there's that. That's so frustrating. I can't even tell you how frustrating that is. All right. Oh, going live is the DNC is refusing to allow any debates. Yes. Another thing. So now we're going to segue into Joe Biden. The DNC is refusing to allow any debates for Joe Biden. Smart move, since Biden has dementia and can barely speak coherently. This is Clay Travis saying this. Honest question, why won't they do the same in the general election too? Scarier question, after Fetterman's debate performance, is there anything Biden could say or do in a debate that would make him unelectable to Democrats? Fetterman is basically a walking vegetable, and he got elected and was immediately hospitalized for months. Why won't Biden be the same? And that's true. So that's another thing. They said that Joe Biden will not be having debates with the DNC, with the Democratic primary candidates. He's not going to have debates. What kind of world are we living in? But he could never debate RFK Jr. He couldn't stand up to him. Let's move on real quick to the Biden family and their business. Because these people destroyed our country, and for what? But hold on, let me go back to StreamYard real quick. Sarah says, for a Democrat, I really like RFK Jr. Been a fan since my teen was a baby. Oh, Sarah. I don't love all his environmental stuff, but it's less crazy than AOC. Absolutely, yeah. And I love him on medical freedom. Totally. Yes. Yes, that's what I said. On medical freedom, I love him on that too. So because like I said, before all of this, I was already following RFK Jr., but he would actually believe in leading a country, and the establishment really doesn't want that. But and that's just so sick to think about. All right, real quick. So you remember last year, hold on a second, at least a dozen of family. So excuse me. Remember not last year, during the election year, there was a laptop that came out. I remember in October. They said we have Hunter Biden laptop, and there's all kinds of craziness in there. And they were talking about that there's deals with China, deals with Ukraine, and all kinds of stuff that was going on, between the dad, the big guy, and just everything. Like the tapes were in the laptop. Now, to add the spiciness to the laptop, there was also very damning pictures in the in the laptop, like pictures that would have anybody in jail. Like any one of us would be in jail from that laptop. And I mean from the top to the bottom. Okay? And but of course, they're not in jail. So, and what happened was they got 51 it was 51 CIA leaders, generals, whatever. And they said, oh no, the laptop is Russian disinformation. And I remember when I heard that, I was like, well, that's a lie. It's not Russian disinformation. I was like, they just don't want to talk about the laptop. Because the election is coming up. I was like, this is wrong. So then when they said that, the laptop discussion was censored like crazy on social media. The New York Post couldn't tweet. I think they banned their account. People were getting suspended. You could not talk about it. On Facebook, you definitely didn't hear. Facebook, first of all, is the worst. You can't get any information on Facebook, okay? Nobody heard about the laptop. And we had an election coming up 2 weeks later or a week later. Nobody heard about it. Of course, afterwards, people heard about it. And 13% of the population said they would not have voted for Joe Biden had they known about that laptop. So there you go with election meddling. But it's also revealed that Anthony Blinken lied about interfering with the 2020 election to downplay Hunter Biden's laptop. Now this has come to light. So we're just going to show this tab on a conservative brief. I hate using their articles sometimes because the ads, the ads are sometimes just too much. Kathleen Buell, Hunter Biden ex-wife, dished on their marriage in a tell-all memoir, If We Break. Buell and Hunter got married back in 1993. I really don't care. So, you see, the ads is just so freaking annoying. I need to get my own site up where I rewrite this stuff. Okay, the relationship ended in 2019, and in May 2019, Hunter wed South African filmmaker. Okay, don't care. The book details Buell's side of the story regarding her divorce. I'm looking for this stuff. When my marriage ended. All right. And this is coming out as true too in court depositions where one of the agents, Morrell, said yeah, he said it was Russian without knowing if it was really Russian disinformation. So if I don't have to necessarily read all of this, but anyway, in February 2017, Buell alleged an illegal filing that her estranged ex had spent money on drugs, alcohol, prostitution, strip clubs, Yeah, I mean, we know that about Hunter, but I'm just gonna come off of this because this is so annoying here. So we know that about Hunter, but the father too is involved with bad business deals, Um and Rico Joe, at least a dozen Biden relatives will be exposed in foreign money deals. So let me see if the New York Post can at least talk about this. And I mean, this is stuff that people already knew though. Like, and now it's kind of coming out. The ads, it is annoying with these ads. At least, all right, so we said that part. Even more relatives of President Biden, or at least a dozen in all, will be exposed for having received money from foreign entities. And Chairman of the House Oversight Committee says there's not going to be anybody left for a Christmas picture. I mean, it's the entire family. So we know that. I mean, that's what happened. I mean, you had Hunter Biden in Ukraine getting paid millions of dollars to be part of an energy board and didn't know anything about energy. And this was during Joe Biden's time as vice president. And then when they started to go ahead and when they started to investigate Burisma, what did I do? When they started to investigate Burisma, they ended up, Joe Biden said, if you don't stop he told the prosecutor that he told the Ukrainian president, you need to get rid of that prosecutor that's like investigating, this energy company, or else you won't get the aid. They got rid of the prosecutor after he said that. So, I mean, the corruption runs deep, but this man is supposed to be running again for president. Now, let's be clear. Half of this stuff, Joe Biden probably doesn't even remember doing it. I'm so sincere. I personally think he has brain cancer. That's my thought, because the way how he responds, because sometimes he's okay, sometimes he's not, but he's getting worse and worse. So I've always said I feel like he has ganglioma type tumors, because he talks about his having brain aneurysms, and I'm like, yeah, I think that there's like a deformity in the ganglioma cells in his brain, and it just makes sense because he has Parkinson-like symptoms. Whatever. The point is, it's elder abuse to have him on there, but he's supposed to be running again. So that is our political talk about what's going on. So out of everybody I just talked about, it seems like RFK Jr. is just the one that makes more sense. So I don't know who's actually like the realist, right? So there's that. Hold on. I'm not trying to go too long. We're going to just do this for an hour. Y'all probably didn't hear me. We're just going to do this for an hour. So let's move on to Sudan, because there's a lot of stuff coming out of Sudan. But then we're going to talk about the truth. Okay. SEAL Team 6 Army Special Forces rescued U.S. diplomats in Sudan. So apparently Sudan, Senate Intelligence Committee Chairman Mark Warner said most of the thousands of Americans remaining in Sudan are aid workers for Sudanese Americans. He said they need to shelter in place while the U.S. works with international partners to arrange a safe way to get them out, likely via a land corridor. The violence has paralyzed Sudan's airports, destroying civilian planes and damaging runways. So there's like two oppositions apparently that are like fighting each other all of a sudden in Sudan, and causing like a lot of problems in Sudan, a lot of anarchy, chaos, and violent stuff happening, people getting hurt. And of course our diplomats, they've been taken out of Sudan, but the Americans who live there, they're like shelter in place, right? Okay. Also to hold on a second. Sorry. The European Union Foreign Affairs Chief Joseph Borrell said Sunday he spoke to leaders of both sides of the conflict. So it was like, it's like two sides, urging an immediate ceasefire, protection of civilians, and guaranteed safe evacuation of EU citizens. Pope Francis on Sunday urged the faithful to pray for our Sudanese brothers and sisters. The Pope appealed for an immediate end to violence and a return to path to dialogue. The country experienced a near total collapse of internet. Okay. And why, right? So it's like, so why? So let's get into the why. Because these people play too much. The minute I heard, I said, okay, I started to hear about Sudan on over the weekend, that there was some sort of conflict or something going on in Sudan. I said, okay, what? I have to come back to this one. I was like, okay, what's going on in Sudan? I said, what did Americans do in Sudan? Because I need y'all to know, if you hear conflict in the country where there's a riot and protest that's causing international news, 9 times out of 10 America got something to do with it. Okay, our establishment, they do color revolutions everywhere, all over the globe. They did one in 2020 here at home. Yeah, they have to get rid of the regimes. They have to get rid of presidents. If they don't like a certain president, they have to start a riot in 2020. Think about it, right? Okay, so anyway, so hold on. Oh, what's up? Justin is lost is on my chat, and now I'm immediately like nervous because that's how I get. I have anxiety. No. What's up, Justin? Thank you for coming through. Yeah. So I was like, what did we do now? And then I found the Sudan Cliff Notes. I'm not going to go through the whole Cliff Notes, but the thing is, what you need to know is that Sudan decided to allow Russia to have a military base. They agreed on a Russian naval base. Okay. And here we go. Kenakoa the Great said Sudan announced a Russian naval base in February. April, Sudan faces violent coup attempt. Yeah, it's true.
Well, the same brutal private Wagner mercenary army that is accused of committing war crimes in Ukraine appears to be putting its thumbs on the scales of the unrest in Sudan as well. The same brutal.
And now they're lying. They're lying. So he just said that the Wagner group is over there in Sudan causing trouble. And they said the Wagner group is mercenaries that are causing trouble in Ukraine. No, they're part of like the Russian fight. They're not causing trouble. They are fighting against American proxy war. Okay. This is how CNN lies. This is why I need to have this new channel on Mondays, because you see, that's a lie. That's an absolute lie. That's an absolute lie. The Wagner group is a very important key in this Ukraine war. They're part of, it's like they're an outside Russian military, and they're not in Sudan. They're busy in Ukraine. So why are they now in Sudan causing trouble? The lies. It's the lies for me. So yes, sadly, when these countries show like some sort of independence and they make an independent decision and they say, we're just going to go ahead and, we're going to let Russia have a naval base. It's like, okay, yeah, go ahead and do that. And all of a sudden there's some sort of chaos happening. There is. And it's terrible. And this is why people are pulling away from the American hegemony. They're pulling away from it because this is what we do. We bully people, and there's no need for it. Really, to go through the Cliff Notes too, you'll see that they confirmed the deal. And then Biden admin sent them money. Victoria Nuland visits Sudan. And when they send them money, the humanitarian aid, a lot of times it goes to gangs, and there's a lot of corruption going on in other countries. Victoria Nuland visits Sudan to discuss democracy. And now we have flare-ups. You see what I'm saying? So, this is what happens. The minute I heard Sudan, I said, what did America do? Our establishment. And this is why people are pulling away. They're pulling away because you don't have to do it like this in order to keep power. All right. And then breaking news. Breaking sources reveal. Oh God, I hate when that happens to me. So hold on a second. Hold on. I'm like doing like silly stuff. All right. That's all right. We'll get it back. So annoying. All right. Breaking sources reveal Susan Rice has been fired by President Biden. Rice has been responsible for Afghan surrender, the Ukraine proxy war, Taiwanese escalation, and most recently the decision to abandon 1,000 Americans in Sudan. They're using her as a scapegoat about something. Believe me, they're not doing this because they care about any of these wars. They're using her as a scapegoat for something, So That's a shame, you know, but she thought she was the boss lady, so I don't feel too bad for her at all because they said she's stepping down. And you know, like they're trying to make it seem like, oh, she's stepping down. And but guess what, everybody? Don't get excited when things like this happen. I don't get excited like, all right, yeah, they got rid of her. Like, no, I'm like, oh shucks. They're gonna bring in somebody even worse. So get ready for war, guys. Like, so hold on. NBC has failed to cover the secret hand of Susan Rice for the last few years. Yeah, she's plotted at state and intel agencies without scrutiny. Absolutely. She leaves the White House with world chaos in her wake. Absolutely. This lady is the cause of a lot of trouble. And so the fact that, you know, what is she tired? Like, what's going on? Why is she leaving? Why did they get rid of her? Who's coming? Okay. So like I tell everybody, just, you know, prepare. You never know what's going to happen. I don't sell fear on the channel. It's just that I'm watching this stuff and I don't take any of this in like good stripes. It's not for me. But when I see they do this, I'm not like, oh, they feel bad and they said, you know, they're looking at this woman like, you caused a lot of problems, we're getting rid of you. No, it's we got a better head honcho in charge. Because Biden didn't fire anybody, by the way. He's still sleeping. Okay. All right. So okay, so we're gonna move on from the world news. Justin was laughing. Yeah, I already have anxiety, and then like when I know something, I was like, oh my god. All right. Anyway, so yeah, we're gonna move on from the world news for a second, and we're gonna head into some cultural type news. Okay. Let me see, because I don't want to stay on too long, so I'm gonna actually hold off on. I'll do the abortion pill thing, and then I'll do the abortion pill thing, and then we are gonna talk about what's his name, Mulvaney, because we do have to. We do. So, abortion pill will remain widely available, but advocates look ahead to future fights. Why am I talking about this, right? So, I'm going to tell you why. So, mifepristone, they put it on pause or whatever, but now let me see, they put the legal battle on pause. So, granting Americans full access to the medication while a challenge to the FDA, for approving the drug. That's not my issue about the drug being approved. Hold on a second. What I'm looking for, they want restrictions. Okay, so the Supreme Court shot down for now restrictions imposed by lower courts on the abortion pill. Though the court was not ruling on the merits, its unsigned one paragraph order stated status quo on access to the drug. So access to the drug. So if I'm not mistaken, this drug can be mailed out to people. Okay. Why I'm talking about this? You know why? Because they don't talk about the dangers with this drug. This is supposed to be, and I'm not going to stay stuck on this topic too long, but this is supposed to be a pill, abortion pill. That is very dangerous. Like the mere fact that they make something like that is already very dangerous and just really disgusting, for lack of a better term, because, you know, what has to happen in order to get rid of that child through a pill, a lot of women don't make it through the process. Like you're flushing out, and your body will continue to flush out until every last fragment comes out. And they don't talk about that. They don't. You know, they just want abortion on demand, and there's no informed consent. You know, and you got a lot of people thinking like, oh yeah, I'm just gonna go ahead and pop my pill, and just like, no, there's a lot that comes with that. And this is the stuff that the left does. This is Democratic type stuff. This is the stuff right there that makes me say, when I hear there's a Democratic candidate, I'm like, I don't even want to know what they're talking about. Maybe a Robert F. Kennedy Jr. would at least say like, no, we can't do it like that. Like we need to be more, you know, it can't be done this way. It can't. The fact that you can send something like that through the mail is very dangerous. It's very dangerous. It's just dangerous all around. And they're talking about where they want it to be coming out of vending machines. You know, there's some pharmacies that won't sell this pill because they don't want the liability on them. They want it where a doctor doesn't have to prescribe it to the patient, where it could be like a pharmacist, like, oh, okay, let me just go ahead and write your mifepristone. Here you go, and then here you go. I just sold it to you on demand without any informed consent. Crazy. So anyway, and the Supreme Court is like, whatever, you guys, we're just gonna put a pause and you guys do whatever you want. So it's like, wow, okay, cool. Not cool, but cool. All right. And okay, so I want to end. This is gonna wrap up the live, because like I said, I didn't want to go past an hour. I just wanted to be like more about headlines, and I'm still trying to figure out exactly how I'm gonna do this show. I do thank everybody who came through. So let's go to the last topic. So here we go. Now, let's go back to Twitter. So I bookmarked some stuff. And I don't know if Justin, if you're still watching, I don't know, but the quartering was really giving Dylan some, like, he was kind of defending him again, and I'm like, I don't understand why he does that. Like, he's like, oh, what? Do we know if this was today or whatever? Because Ali is telling people that Dylan Mulvaney, he's going to be the face of Maybelline, but the quartering was like, well, are we sure that this video was from today? I'm not sure that it was from today, or some crap like that. And I bookmarked it so I could talk about it. And of course, it's not here. So that's so ridiculous. And I'm like, why is he defending this? Like, why is he defending this? But hold on a second. Ali London. Because we do need to talk about a real, like, there needs to be a boycott of a lot of these industries, because it's getting ridiculous and it's getting tired. So I don't know if I'm going to be able to find his here it is. Yeah, this doesn't appear to be a new video unless I'm missing something. Like, you're just too hype. So you still on? Yeah. So Sarah, what did you say real quick? Yeah, you're right. The propaganda out here in legacy media about this pill is ridiculous. Absolutely it is. But they lie. Legacy media lies about everything. After 2020, I was like, oh, okay, so I just can't watch the news, So let's take a look. Here he is.
It's me.
All right. And that's enough. Maybe he's born with it. Maybe it's Maybelline, the new face of Maybelline, ladies. He does have a sponsorship with Maybelline, MAC, and Ulta. Metalopoly, what's up? He has a sponsorship with these places. I mean, it's getting to a point where it's like, I don't even know if I can go outside and buy anything. But the Bud Light boycott is very inspiring. It should say something to people that, you protest these things with your dollars. Why should we be paying for certain things when we're not involved? Like, when they're playing their target, their base audience, okay? Maybelline, you have a man on there, and this is cosplay. And now he's going to be the face of Maybelline in some fashion, okay? He's promoting the product. They know he's promoting the product, all right? MAC, the same thing with MAC, right? And they just don't care. It's like they just don't care about us women. I don't need a man telling me how to wear my makeup. I have a problem with this. Worse yet, I have a problem with it because, number one, Dylan, he targets children. 365 days of girlhood. That's what it was. It was girlhood. I did a video about it. Girlhood. Why is it girlhood? Where he plays around like he's a little girl. You're getting kids with this stuff. But I don't also hide behind the whole, oh, it's just about the kids. It's not just about the kids. We have a lot of people walking around here with some sort of mental health disorder, whether it be borderline personality disorder to the extreme of dressing up like this, or a dissociative personality disorder, or, a dysmorphia where they're looking in the mirror and they don't see what their eyes really should be showing them, So now this is like a delusion. This is some sort of almost close to schizophrenia kind of schizo effect, right? Where they should be on medication, or we should be talking to these people, asking them, how did they get here? What happened? What is the root cause? Instead, we give them ads, we parade them around. I mean, he's on Nike, everything, you know, and nobody's having a real discussions. And then there's this whole, and then it makes it seem like this is normal, that trans is normal. There is only two genders, you know? A person can choose to take a substitution body if they want. But the real discussion about this is there's a lot of people who tell you, like, after they did like the full surgery, that's when they really went crazy, you know, because it wasn't satisfying to them, because now they got rid of it and they still don't feel like a woman. Well, yeah, you're not, because now you gave yourself a wound, you got to clean it and do all this and put something in there to keep it open, all of that. And women don't do that, you know? So that's actually a reality check that sometimes they end up ending themselves over it, you know? And you have these companies now and they're praising him, like Ulta loves putting these men on there and just saying like, oh, you know, it's inclusive to everybody. No, like, so women don't get any spaces. We don't get bathrooms. We don't get sports. We don't get makeup. We can't have anything now. And I'm saying men, but I really don't consider these guys men. I consider them kooks. When I talk about men, that label is not for everybody. It's not everybody's a man. You got a lot of kooks out here. Okay. So, and they're destroying, and yes, they are destroying children. They are. But so women, we just can't have anything. We are not protected at all now. You have women getting pregnant in prisons. Why? Oh, because a man thought he was a woman, was able to go to the prison. And this is happening. It's happening. They're getting hurt in prisons because men are in there. Okay? You have big men who say, I dare you not to let me come in the bathroom, in the woman's bathroom and see what I do. Wow. Wow. If I went to the doctor, let me see, hold on a second. Everybody, my chat is really hit right now, and I'm like really loving it. Metalovely, he's always so supportive to me too. Metalovely, thank you so much. So, oh man, the chat is going off hard. If I went to the matter of fact, let me get it back on my StreamYard and actually like put up some of the stuff that y'all are saying. Like I said, thank you, Metalopoly, always for the love. Thank you. I try to be base as F. No. Justin's Law said, if I went to the doctor and asked him to chop my finger off, they would acknowledge I have a mental. Absolutely. Thank you. I do make that point. Yes. How far does this go? Like, oh, well, I need to have my arm taken off in order to feel like, you know, I can live my true self, you know? But you do have people who, I've heard of people, somebody told me a story that they read about a girl who felt privileged because she could see or something, and she wanted to be disabled. So she drank something to go blind, and, you know, she tried to like get rid of her vision. Like, yo, we have a lot of mental health disorders that are being affirmed. You know, Metalopoly says, how helpful could an ESG score really be if pulling these stunts end up turning off your whole customer base? But that's the thing. So we talked about that on Hypnotics channel. And, you know, I always say it is a sacrifice. It's not even about the money with these people anymore. This isn't going to stop. It's not going to stop. It's not. But we should still show them that we're not going to pay for your stuff either. This is why, like, Eric July talks about a parallel economy. Like, I get it. Like, I definitely get it. You know? Did you see Tucker? Hold on a second. What do you mean he's out? Wait, you lying. Tucker Carlson is out at Fox. What do you mean out? They fired him? I look that up. Because that's what I'm reading that as. Devil died. Elvis says, chemically or surgically removing your ability to make speed. Yes, yes. That's so true. It does. They say that. Like when I was watching I Am Jazz, she was having an issue with that. What? Oh, I'm sorry. Y'all took me all the way. Oh, how did I know? What? Oh, How did I not know this? Where the hell was I at? Are you kidding me? Wait a minute. I'm like, okay, last segment will be Dylan. Absolutely not. I'm gonna wrap this up real quick though. Let me give it the due diligence of wrapping it up. Ladies, we need to start using our money. We need to start using our money. We do. And taking a stand with our money. I already didn't shop at Ulta. It is not hard for me to give up all of these like cosmetic lines. Like I don't use them anymore anyway because I started thinking that they were too overrated anyway. And we need to start working on parallel economies. But I'll have more like episodes talking about this mental health disorder, but it is destroying children, is destroying families, and enough is enough with that. I'm gonna wrap that part up because now I have to go like back on Twitter and look at like what? Oh no. Fox might as well forget it. They might as well forget it. What? Just in Tucker Carlson to leave Fox News. All right, so I'm gonna parse this out too and make this a video. Fox News Media and Tucker Carlson have agreed to part ways. We thank him for his service to the network as a host and prior to that as a contributor. Mr. Carlson's last program was Friday, April 21st. And it will air live at 8 p.m. starting this evening as an interim show helmed by rotating Fox News personalities until a new host is named. What? Robbie Starbuck, Tucker Carlson is out of Fox News. This is the biggest mistake Fox has ever made. You aren't lying. I don't know the reason for the exit, but the timing couldn't be worse. But yes, it could not be worse for Fox. Oh my gosh. Hold on. DC Drano. I like reading DC Drano posts. Like I like DC Drano, period. Tucker Carlson is leaving Fox News. I hope his next gig is $100+ million deal with Spotify or Rumble. He is a fearless warrior for the truth and has and has one of the biggest audiences in America. No, it's not the end of Tucker Carlson at all. Shocking news. Let me see. Alex Break. What? Oh, what? Wow. Yo. I saw this coming though. I saw this coming. Like, I did see this coming. I did. I just felt it. I've been talking to like, if anybody who knows me personally, they'll know. I'm like, I don't know how long Tucker's gonna last on Fox. That Ukraine war alone had him like, like you could tell that he was busting at the seams. Like I just want to say everything that's going on about it. And he's been saying as much as possible. He has, like when he talked about the Nord Stream pipeline, everything. He is like the little bit that we see with him. I know he has way more to say. And they've been holding him back. But I remember saying, if Tucker Carlson leaves, that's the end of Fox, because I don't watch any other channel on Fox but the Tucker Carlson. I don't watch any other show, on Fox News except for Tucker Carlson's show, because the other shows, they're still paid by the military industrial complex. So when I saw how they were reporting on Ukraine, I was like, whoa, what's going on here? Like they're like telling almost the same stories like CNN. Like, how come they're not on the ball? And I noticed that Tucker was on the ball, and I was like, well, I'm only watching this show because I'm not going to watch other shows to be lied to. I'm not, wow. This isn't the end of Tucker. I hope he's either or he probably just retired and say I'm done, but he's not. He's going to do his own thing and he's going to get paid. Whatever he does, I'm going to subscribe to it anyway, Wow. Absolutely extraordinary. Wow. I'm still saying wow. I saw this coming though. I did. Let me see what else y'all got to say. Oh, what's up, Hypnotic? Thank you for coming through. Oh my God, my chat is fun. I'm like, I'm just gonna be on here for an hour, but wow. Yes, Sarah. I'm glad for him. I think they were holding him back. Yep, I said that. Metalopoly was shocked just like me over the voting machine. Metalopoly, you're good. I forgot about the voting machine thing. Dominion. Fox settled with Dominion. He probably left. He probably was like, yes, they settled with Dominion because a lot of stuff would have came out in that lawsuit that would have probably told the truth about what happened to us in 2020, but Fox seemed to have settled with them. And then all of a sudden he's gone. He probably was like, yo, I'm done. Like, I'm done. I can't do this anymore. I don't know. I'm just assuming. On Devil Dice, thank you so much. He says, thank you. I'm just assuming Devil Dice is man because it says, the hell with the makeup industry. I like a little makeup though. I have some more right now. Wow. Tucker Carlson was the only thing keeping people from leaving Fox altogether. He's not gonna be able to do it. What do you say? He just had the dude on that did the Epstein autopsy on the show. Yeah. Yep. He's going to. Let me see. I'm just reading some of the stuff. He's gonna make way more money because I'll subscribe to anything. I'm starting some of my like when I had cable, I noticed I was like, you only watch Tucker Carlson. Cancel the cable because you're paying too much. You could get like a streaming something and then watch them that way. I don't really watch too much of anything on cable. I like streaming channels. I have Netflix or Paramount Plus or something like that, and then but I really don't. Dan and Dan just left too. This is some real news, guys. Wow. And how fun was that like we just broke it here on That Girl KCC. Yes, that's why you got to tune into my channel because we have the current news going on from around the world and domestically and talking about how it affects you, right? Okay, so there's that. Wow. All right. So like I said, this was like a pilot episode. I will be having this on every Monday. I'm thinking more like a 9, maybe 10 o'clock isn't bad. Maybe 10 o'clock really isn't bad because it looked like a lot of people did come through. So, yeah, I think maybe it'll be 10 o'clock. I'll let you guys know for sure. I'm still working on the Substack, finishing up the second article on my Substack. Wow, this is a lot of exciting news on a Monday already. Let me go ahead and start parsing out my videos so I can start putting those out, you guys. So I'm trying to get to 1,000 by June. That's when my birthday is. I'm at 705 or 704. We can do this, guys. Thank you so much for the support. Thank you for coming through. Just thank you for making the chat live. I just had so much fun this morning, and I'll see you guys at the next video. Bye.